Has God ever not shown up for you? No. Has it felt like God didn't show up for you? Probably. Has God showed up for you and it wasn't in the way that you wanted him to show up for you? Yes. Many times. Is God still good? All the time. What's up, y'all? It's Rachel Elizabeth, and you're watching Real Talk with Rach, where we talk about real things because it's vulnerable, honest, real things that get us deeper in relationship with others and deeper in intimacy with God. And this week, my version of real is just sharing with you that I'm not exactly sure what he's teaching me right now, but I'm going to share with you what he's doing. And I know that some of you will be able to relate. Fun fact about Rachel, I am a doer by nature. I love performance, productivity, accomplishment, and progress because I cannot stand the idea of being stagnant. And I know that God has done so much work in my heart about this, in my life with this, and I know that he's been so patient with me. And I know that it's all for good because God wants me, as he wants you, to learn how to live and thrive and work. Yes, work too, from a place of rest. It's really a lesson in learning the unforced rhythms of grace. It's a lesson in learning how Jesus accomplished things. And it's learning that in order for God to do his best work through us, we have to be in a position where, yes, we're showing up and we're being obedient, but we're in a place where we can't take the credit for what he's doing, because the purpose is never for us to get glory for anything that we do, any progress we make, any accomplishments we achieve, any dreams we pursue and see come to fruition. Everything we do is supposed to be done unto God in a way that gives him the glory. And before I say another word, I want you to know that I am not condoning laziness, and neither does God. But there's something to be said about the difference of working from a place of trust and rest and relationship with the Father versus working from a place of have to, need to, must, or striving. And y'all, striving can happen so easily. It's sneaky. It slips in unnoticed most of the time into our lives, into our schedules, and before we know it, it's running us. And we're doing things to manipulate God or appease God when we never were supposed to work like that, when we were never called to live like that. I also want to say that there's nothing wrong with a full schedule and living a full life as long as this concept is understood. This perspective is where you are living a full life from. And it's something that I'm still in the middle of because I still struggle with it, which is hilarious because this is exactly what God wanted me to talk about. And I find myself sitting here asking him, God, how do I even open my mouth to begin talking about a subject that I'm not fully walking in yet? Because I'm still learning how to work from a place of rest. So I'm going to tell you what happened right before I started this episode. I was sitting here in front of the camera and I had prayed and I had prepared, and I don't mean prepared like I had notes because I never have notes. Once in a while God will use something that I have been learning over the course of the week and I will use my journal, but I always come to the camera and hit record with no actual preparation except a prayer saying, God, I'm here, will you speak through me? And I pray for you guys. And then I hit record. And today, that process was extremely frustrating because I had expectations based on my own experience making these 111, now 112 episodes weekly of Real Talk with Rach for you. And that expectation was that if I show up, then God is going to give me the words to say. And he wasn't giving me the words to say yet, because he's obviously giving me the words to say right now. But in this process, he wasn't giving me the words to say, and I was frustrated with him. And he revealed to me all of these thoughts that were circling in my head, like, God, this is a full day. I need to do this quickly so I can finish editing it quickly so I can go to my best friend's birthday dinner so I can hopefully get to the polls today and vote. And the list went on. And what he showed me in these thoughts that he was pointing out so graciously was that he just wanted me to sit still still and wait for his timing, wait for his peace, and not start another video, another task, another assignment, even if it's something he's given me to do, with any sense of, I have to do this for God, because that's not what it's about. So I told him I was frustrated with him. Real talk, because if I can't be real with God, how can I ever be real with you? And I know that's for someone, so you're welcome. But I was sitting here telling him how frustrated I was with him. God, you told me to do this. You told me to give me the words. You always give me the words. Why aren't you giving me the words? And you know what he did? He had me lean back against this wall like this. And he had me close my eyes. And he had me just sit here for a while. And then he gave me a vision of him sitting in front of me with this big goofy grin on his face. And he did something ridiculous. I saw him reach out his big finger, touch me on the nose, and go, boop. You guys, I lost it. I could not be frustrated with him for a second longer. And I just laughed and, oh my gosh, I just felt this weight crumble. And I know part of that weight was pride. It was the pride of wanting to do things the way I needed or expected them to be done, so I could order my day the way I want it to be ordered, or I think it needs to be ordered. But guess what? God is the one who orders our steps. God is the one who helps us get everything done that we need to get done, and the things we don't get done don't need to be done. He is outside of time, and he is the one who works all things together for good, for our good, because we love him, and we were called according to not ours, his purposes, the good things that he planned in advance for us to do before we were born. And he is faithful, more faithful than any of us could ever be, who are doers, who want to show up and get things done and check off all the boxes and cross off everything off the list. Yes, list ladies, I'm with you. No, he knows. He's faithful. He's not going to let the important things be swept aside. But just like the story of Mary and Martha, there is a most important thing that can't be done like a to-do list gets done. It can only be done by letting go of the to-do list, letting go of the calendar, letting go of the watch and the stopwatch and the timer, letting go of the schedule for just enough time for him to remind you that he's sovereign over those things. And the best thing to do requires no doing at all. The best thing to do that is still as good as it is, as wonderful as he is, it is still difficult for me to do. And that is sit still and simply be with him. And I know right now so many of you are saying but, and listing off all these reasons why you shouldn't or can't. I know, because I do that all the time. But God, I can't sit and be still. I need to find a job. But God, I can't sit and be with you because I need a home. How is anything going to get accomplished if I go into vacation mode with you? How? And he just reaches over and he goes, boop, I love you. I've got you. I'll handle it. And in true form, I'm getting emotional again because he is that good. And it is so hard. Why is it so hard to receive grace? Why is it so hard to sit still? Y'all, I have a solid history of God's faithfulness in coming through and making miracles happen and moving obstacles out of the way and providing for things when I thought all was lost. And yet here I am again, struggling to believe that if I just sit and be still, that he will come through with the things that I need. And if I'm being really real, it's because I'm afraid of what you might think. Those of you who are watching my life, I'm afraid of what you might think if I say I'm going on vacation when I don't have a job and I need a home. I'm afraid of what people might say. But that is something right in this very moment I am giving to God as well, and I'm repenting of, because that is not fear of God, that's fear of man. The Bible says that we're not trying to please men, but God who tests our hearts. And the fear of God doesn't mean that we need to be afraid of God. He's not scary, but it does mean that we need to remember with respect and awe and reverence that he is God and people are not. We are not. And like John said when proclaiming Jesus as the Son of God, we must decrease and he must increase. It's about making much of Him, more of Him than we make of other people and other people's opinions. Because, as that verse in 1 Thessalonians says, God's the one that searches our hearts. Men don't search our hearts. God is the one who sees everything about us, the condition of our hearts, what we're thinking, how we're feeling, and still chose to let His only Son die in your place, die the death that you deserve. Because God is God. He made us, He's holy, and He has every right to destroy us, and yet to appease His wrath, He sent Jesus to die on a cross and take all of your sin, all of the sin of the world on His shoulders, not just for your salvation, but for your freedom, so that you would never have to be afraid of God, but so that you would fear Him, honor Him, respect Him, glorify Him, knowing that He had every right to destroy you and He never will, because you're His. And because of Jesus, not only are you free as a son or daughter of God, but you're free from striving. You're free from the law of sin and death. You are under grace. And just like a child obeys their parents when they love and respect them, we obey God not because we are earning anything from Him, but because we love and we respect Him, because He's the best dad and we want to be like Him. So we want to please Him. So when He says rest and just be with me, we should drop whatever it is we're doing and run to sit and be with Him, or jump on a plane to go on vacation with Him, to do with Him whatever He wants to do, or just take a day to do things that you enjoy, because He instilled you with those things. If you love hiking, go hiking with Him. He's with you. He's a part of you. If you love swimming, go swimming. He's with you. He wants you to enjoy that. Now, all things are permissible, but not everything is beneficial, and discipline is important. But I'm speaking directly to those to-do listers who struggle to sit and be still and do the things that they enjoy because they have to justify time spent on things that are purely for enjoyment and not productivity. So if I'm speaking to you right now, boop, enjoy your time with Jesus. He will make sure that all the things that need to get done are done. Rest in Him, and I'm going to do my best to do the same. I love you guys and praying for you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, subscribe to my channel, and if you want to support me in this ministry in any way, I would be so beyond grateful for that. You can find all the links you need in the description box below. Thank you so much to my Patreon family. Please let me know how I can improve this experience for you guys. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye. If you watched all the way to the end of this video, I want to know, have you ever had a fun day or a vacation with God simply because He wanted to spend the day with you? If you have, tell me what it was and what you did in the comments below. And if not, maybe that's something you can ask Him about. See you next time. Bye.